Timothy Jams. And today, you might notice, my surroundings have once again changed. This is because they're doing work in my room, so I'm in the granny flat. And if you don't know what a granny flat is, it's like a little flat on your property, like for guests or whatever. This is also the second time I'm recording this video because the first time my mic was off the entire time. I was just talking for 30 minutes and my mic was it was off, so no audio, which it's not like there's anything else to fucking watch, so you need audio. Now today I want to talk about war. Ever since human beings have walked the earth, conflict has been an ever-present reality of day-to-day life. Back when fire was first invented and the best way to kill a cunt was to bonk him over the head with a club, human beings have found great ways to fucking murder each other. Although now, these days, war is a little bit more civilized. Instead of using bows and arrows and clubs, we use guns and RPGs and nuclear bombs. But because of these weapons, and the fact that everyone else has these weapons, it's led to a bit of an uneasy peace. And because of this uneasy peace, another war has come forth. A greater war, a more important war. I'm talking, of course, about the console war. The console war is one that's been waged for decades now, and the parties involved have changed significantly. From Nintendo and Sega to PlayStation and Xbox. Since the dawn of time, men have been arguing about which piece of plastic is better than the other, and it's looking like that's not gonna change anytime soon. Now, the point of this video is just gonna be me talking about which console is better, like a true fucking console warrior, and just why the console war or the debate, the discourse is fucking stupid. And to understand my perspective, my gaming journey is a little bit weird. Other people have gone from like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, whereas I went from Game Boy Advance to PSP to Nintendo Wii to Xbox 360 to Xbox One to PlayStation 4. Now, because I have been both on Xbox and PlayStation, I feel like I'm in a good position to comment about which is better and the merits of both. And the reason I switched in the first place is the reason why, spoiler alert, I think PlayStation's the better console to get, is because of games. There's the exclusives. There's games that I want to play on PlayStation that I can't play on Xbox One, So, and the one that made me switch was Spider-Man PS4, right? And ever since, I used to be on Xbox. I got a 360 because all my friends had an Xbox. So it was the smart thing to do. And this was the shift from Wii because I got the Wii because my parents got the Wii for me. Because I didn't know shit about like consoles or whatever. So and they just thought that the of the Wii was like sick. The interactivity of it was cool. And it was, but I would have been better off with Xbox or PlayStation. But when I eventually I was on Xbox One for a few years after getting my 360, and like when the new console generation came in, or like the old generation now, and I enjoyed it for a while, but it was okay. But then I saw the trailer for Spider-Man PS4, and I was like, I need to play this. I need to fucking play this. And with this new generation, it's a bit too early to call, but I think PlayStation did beat Xbox in this previous one, and I was briefly sort of tempted to get the new Xbox over the PS5 because of Indiana Jones and the Elder Scrolls games. But the thing that made me decide that I haven't gotten a PS5 yet, but the thing that made me decide that I'm going to get a PS5 is the Wolverine game. Because that just is fucking sick. That sounds fucking sick. I just want to be able to tear people to shreds and see my skin come off when people shoot me. Like, oh, great fucking shit. But anyway, in terms of which console, in terms of the hardware, right? there's no big difference. One might be a little bit better than the other. Maybe it's Xbox, but who the fuck is buying consoles for specs, right? Because if you're getting console, if you're a specs man, get a PC. You can have all the specs you want, and it's more customizable. But in terms of consoles, it's just because console nice. You just buy it and you don't have to fuck with it or anything. You just put in a game and you play. Easy, right? So, what makes people buy consoles? Simple. Games. And that's why people should buy a PlayStation. Because there's better games that aren't available on Xbox. Because the two consoles are so the difference is negligible, right? So, you should go with the console that has the better games for you, right? And now, what Xbox does have over PlayStation is backwards compatibility. I believe the new Xbox can play Xbox One games, 360, and original Xbox games. I knew that Xbox One could play 360 and original Xbox games. So if you're a person who likes to play old games, it's probably the better console for you if you're not on the market for a PC, which is better because of emulation. And the other thing that it does better is Game Pass. It's relatively equal with PlayStation with games for Gold and PS Plus, but PlayStation doesn't have an equivalent for Game Pass, which is a good deal. You get access to a lot of games for a standard rate. But in the end, it just comes down to sort of games, because whatever games you can play on Xbox, most of them you can play on PlayStation. And it's not like Xbox hasn't tried, at least with the Xbox One generation, it's not like it didn't try to have exclusives. Recall was an attempt, and so obviously the Halo one, but Halo hasn't lived up to its own reputation in quite some time. Although I've seen clips of Halo Infinite, and that looks quite fun, I must say. But in general, I think PlayStation has it just because, like I said, games. Spider-Man, Horizon, God of War. Now that I've covered that, I want to talk about why both fucking console wars on both sides are just brain dead fucking morons. They're just idiots. They're just not very clever. And I want to start with the Xbox, if you will. Pretty much they've got one big argument that they love to parrot, that they stick to. It's their gospel. And that is that PlayStation doesn't have games, it has movies. This fucking annoys me. This really, really bugs me, because what are you saying? What kind of games do you play? Because if you haven't noticed, for quite some time now, games have been very cinematic. Even in the 360 days, even in the PS3, games have been very cutscene heavy. Even non-exclusive games on both consoles, like Assassin's Creed or Red Dead or something, very cutscene heavy, right? So by saying PlayStation only has movies, it's such a bullshit cope argument. It's such a nothing argument that by making that argument, all you're saying is, there are games on PlayStation that I want to play, but I can't because I have an Xbox, and I regret getting an Xbox because of it, and I can't get the new PlayStation. Which, fair, man, if you've got money troubles, hey, man, whatever. But don't make this fucking argument, man. Don't make unless you're like the only people I'll take it from is fucking people who just play indie games and nothing else. Because indie games don't really tend to have hectic cutscenes or something. They're very mostly gameplay focused. But these movies, as these people say, also have a lot of gameplay. If you've played Spider-Man, it's got great gameplay. And the same with Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War. I enjoy the gameplay in all of those games. So it really annoys me when people take this point and they stick to it like it's their own. Like they've got this, oh, we got you there. It's like, no, you don't. You're a fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up. Go fucking get off Twitter and fucking play with your friends on Xbox. Jesus. But now, I'll start talking about the PS fanboys, and there's not even a little clever little nickname for them because they're just PlayStation fanboys. And what annoys me about them is they're hypocrites. They're little fucking bitch hypocrites. Pretty much. What's in this last generation when PS4 had all the exclusives and Xbox had fuck all, then it was like, oh lols bro, just get a PlayStation. You don't hate the player, hate the game type of shit. And then now the second that Xbox is now starting to take this shit seriously and it's like getting more exclusives, like the two big ones being Indiana Jones and Elder Scrolls. Now it's an injustice. It's a travesty. They're discriminating against gamers, the most oppressed race, and it's so annoying to see because they're right and like that their PlayStation is better because of this game, but then you can't complain when Xbox does the same thing, because then what does that say about your brand, your fucking corporate brand that you will fight for and fight for their honor? It really annoys me. The other thing that really annoys me about PlayStation is they really, really don't like the idea of PlayStation putting their exclusives onto PC, which I don't understand. Because the big argument is like, oh no, then what's the point of getting a PlayStation? Oh, you're robbing us. And I've literally seen videos where people they get like screaming into the mic levels of angry when it was announced that God of War was coming to PC or Days Gone was coming to PC. And Jesus fucking Christ, man, it's like it'll be better on PC. Everything's better on PC. Just because you can mod it and you can fuck with it and you can make it better if there's a strong modding community behind it. And also you could pirate it if you don't want to. And another big argument is that putting on PC loses Sony money and because people pirate games. And yes, that's true to an extent. Horizon Zero Dawn, like when it went on PC, it immediately got fucking cracked within like 24 hours. But it still made lots of money because lots of people still chose to buy it legally on Steam, right? So that's argument nothing. It's fuck all. It's also a nothing argument. And that kind of shit really, really fucking annoys me. I don't know. I just think that if you're going to argue about something, you need to be able to admit when the other side is doing something right instead of being fucking petty or hypocritical about it. Like for me, for example, like I'll admit, like Xbox has recently had some success with their latest Forza game, and I'm not a car guy, so I don't give a fuck. Unless a car game lets me blow shit up by crashing into it, then I'm not really interested. I don't like. But I'll admit Forza, from like what I've seen, has got good graphics. And like people that play Forza really like it. So, good on them. And it's exclusive to Xbox. So hey, good for them. It's not gonna make me want to get an Xbox, but it's gonna make me be like, oh, I'll give it to him, right? So. Really, it really sort of like, it makes me cringe when I see people just being little bitches about it. Like being, Forza shit, it doesn't look as good. Like they're coming up with all these reasons to like sort of put the game down. And it's like, bro, why do you care? Why do you really care, man? Just like play Gran Turismo or something. I don't know. But I feel like if Xbox people can admit that, PlayStation is better, so like story, like single player story mode type of games, that they wish they could play, I'd be like, that's respectable. And the same thing with PlayStation people being like, this like Xbox has done this game like really well, or Xbox has got this game coming up that I really want to play but I can't, which sucks because I'm on PlayStation. So it really sort of, I don't know. The point of this video is just that it's dumb. It's just fucking dumb, man. And it's like, why do these people waste their time? Because they complain about it on Twitter, right? And it's like, why does anyone waste their time on Twitter? Like, it's like that classic thing of like, if you have to tell someone you don't care about their like about what they say, then you obviously do care because you took the time to respond to them. You know, because if you didn't care, you just wouldn't. You don't care. You just move on with your life, which is what I try to do when I see something dumb on the internet. So I'd really sort of like to see a little bit more, I guess, integrity from these type of people involved in this debate on consoles. But I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. The video's a lot shorter because than the one I recorded earlier, because a lot of in the moment, shit that came to me. But yeah, thanks for watching. I've been Jimothy Gems, and fuck off.